Alrighty, hopefully everyone is settled in. So, firstly, I would like to start off by acknowledging the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people as the traditional owners and true sovereigns of the land I'm meeting you from. And I would like to pay my respects to elders from all nations here this evening and to elders past, present, and emerging. My name is Ali, and I'm an independent facilitator from RPS, and I'm here tonight to host the information session between you and the VPA on the Epping Activity Centre. So, just before we get going, I'll run through a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, if you need captions, you can turn them on at the bottom toolbar. And you might have noticed, so this session will be recorded. It's just so those who couldn't attend, could not attend, can go back and watch, or if you want to go over the presentation again. You won't be identifiable in the recording due to the webinar set up through Zoom. You'll notice that your cameras and mics are set to off, and the chat function is also disabled. You will be able to interact tonight through the Q&A function, which is on the bottom right of your screen. And if you do have a question throughout the session, please pop it in there as we go, and we'll come to the questions after the presentation portion of tonight's session. And we would like you to use the upvoting function. So if there is a question you see that you think is important, make sure you upvote it by giving it a thumbs up so we can get through our top questions first. And just a reminder to keep questions and comments kind and respectful. So on our agenda for tonight, we have the VPA here to present to you on their draft plans for Epping. So they'll run you through some general information about the Activity Centres program, your council's plans for Epping, our plans for Epping, what this will mean for you and how you can have your say, and then we'll run through a Q&A. So now I will hand over to Samira, who will run us through the plans for Epping.
Thank you so much, Ellie. Good evening, everyone. My name is Samira, and I'm from the Communications and Engagement team at the Victorian Planning Authority, and I'll be taking you through most of the content tonight. We also have Julia, our Strategic Planning Manager here, who's going to help us with some questions that you might have. And we've also got our colleagues, Elise and Kingsley, in the background, making sure that everything runs smoothly from a technical perspective. So we want to provide all Victorians with a choice of a well-designed home at an affordable price in a place where they can thrive. Right across Victoria, not enough people have the chance to afford a home close to the people and places that they love. This initiative that we're talking to you about tonight is about building a future where every Victorian can afford a home that's right for them. We're going to need 1.8 million new homes in metropolitan Melbourne by 2051. So making sure that those new homes are well located allows us to maximise the use of existing infrastructure and transport. The starting point is to look for places where more homes can be built and the types of homes that we need to suit all kinds of Victorians in all kinds of places. In September last year, the Victorian government released Victoria's Housing Statement, a bold plan to tackle Victoria's housing crisis. There are 39 different initiatives in the housing statement, and the Activity Centre program is just one of them. We're working to deliver 60,000 new homes close to services, jobs, and public transport in an initial 10 activity centres across Melbourne. So the role of the Activity Centres program is to enable 60,000 homes close to services, jobs, and transport in 10 activity centres across Melbourne, to guide investment in the things a growing community needs, like improved streets, parks, and community infrastructure. It's to create clearer rules about the types of new development that we need. It's to provide increased certainty to the community about what kind of new development to expect. And it's to create a process for developing clearer and simpler planning rules, which can be rolled out across other centres around Melbourne. So activity centres are a vibrant place where people shop, work, connect with family, friends, as well as live. There are more than 130 activity centres across metropolitan Melbourne, which range in size and service offerings. They're great places for more homes thanks to their concentration of services, jobs, and transport. The Activity Centre program will deliver plans for an initial 10 of these in Broadmeadows, Camberwell Junction, Chadstone, Epping, Frankston, Moorabbin, Niddry Keilor Road, North Essendon, Preston High Street and Ringwood. Activity centres are great locations for more housing, but they're also so much more than that. They're places to work, places for social interaction, and they're ideal places to shop and access your essential daily needs. Our plans also aim to liven up activity centres and make them more vibrant places to live, work and visit. Activity centres range in size from local neighbourhood shopping strips to centres with universities and major shopping malls. The initial 10 centres represent a range of activity centres of different sizes, service offerings and locations in Melbourne's inner, middle and outer suburbs. Epping is one of our 10 initial activity centres because we know it's a great place to live. People come from across the northern suburbs to access its shops, health, justice and community services. There are lots of local shops and local services at the Pacific Epping Shopping Centre and the surrounding area. It's an employment centre with lots of local jobs, education opportunities thanks to the TAFE, council services and the Northern Hospital. And the Epping train station connects locals to the city and well beyond. All of these things make Epping a great location for more homes. You can divide our plans for Epping into two areas, the Epping Activity Centre and the surrounding catchment. The Activity Centre is where you'll find the highest concentration of jobs, services and public transport. The catchment is the surrounding area where people live within walking distance of those jobs, services and public transport. When looking at each of our activity centres, one of the first steps was to look at the existing plans for the area. In about half of our 10 activity centres, the local council already had existing plans that allow more homes to be built there, and Epping is one of them. Whittlesea City Council recently prepared the Epping Central Structure Plan, which generally covers the same area as the Epping Activity Centre. Their plan allows heights between 3 and 8 stories in different places throughout the centre. We are working with Whittlesea City Council to review this draft plan and make sure it will deliver enough of the right types of homes in the right places. We plan to complete our review and implement the Epping Central Structure Plan by the end of this year, along with plans for other activity centres in our program. We're not going to talk in detail tonight about your council's plans as we didn't prepare them. If you would like to find out more about the Epping Central Structure Plan, the plans are available on the Whittlesea City Council website, or you can contact your local council to find out more. This is the catchment around the Epping Activity Centre. The catchment is the area within walking distance of the local jobs, services and public transport of the centre. It's not part of the activity centre itself. Unlike the plans for the Epping Activity Centre, which were prepared by your local council, the plans for the catchment have been prepared by the Victorian Government. That's us. When working out where the catchment should be, we first looked at places within roughly 800 metres or a 10-minute walk of the services and transport in the activity centre. We then excluded areas that aren't appropriate to be in the catchment, such as protected industrial or environmental areas, as well as places that might already be subject to other future plans, like the suburban rail loop precinct or different activity centres nearby. Building more homes in the catchment within walking distance of the local jobs, services and transport is a common sense way to create a more lively, inclusive and sustainable local community. It will also provide an opportunity for more housing diversity, including high quality, social and affordable housing. Our plans will make sure we build the right types of homes in the catchment in the places they fit best. Small apartment buildings between 3 to 6 stories will be built here over time, but mixed with townhouses and existing homes. Only the largest blocks of land in the catchment will be able to build up to 5 or 6 stories. Smaller blocks will only be able to build up to 3 or 4 stories, and some homes and buildings may not change at all. We've heard from the community that vibrant places with green parks and local community facilities are important to support housing growth. Epping already offers lots of community services and infrastructure, including schools, libraries, health centres, sports facilities, and the kinds of things you can see on this map. But as more people call Epping home, we want to make sure that the Victorian Government and your local council can continue to invest in these things. We're exploring options for a new and simplified approach for funding infrastructure. This new approach could provide direct contributions for councils and state government to deliver essential infrastructure. Seeking community input on the types of local infrastructure that matter most to you to help us shape what this new funding approach could look like. We have a question on this in our survey on Engage Vic. So if there's any specific upgrades to local infrastructure that you would like to see in your area, please let us know in that survey on that Engage Vic page. We want to reduce barriers to building new homes and create more certainty. In the Activity Centre, we're introducing a new tool called Deemed to Comply Standard, which will relate to things like building heights, street wall heights, and setbacks. If a planning application for a new building meets our Deemed to Comply standards, it will benefit from a streamlined planning approval pathway, which could include the removal of notice and review requirements. And if a proposed new development within the Epping Activity Centre follows our clear new rules, the council cannot use heights or setbacks as a reason to refuse the development. This provides more certainty and can prevent having to go to VCAT, saving time and money. This streamlined new process is designed to get more homes built faster thanks to quicker application processing for planning permits and reduced costly VCAT hearings. This streamlined new process would only apply to the Activity Centre and not the catchment. In the catchment, normal planning processes, including notice and appeal, will still apply. Epping will slowly change over the next few decades, providing the new homes we need between now and 2051. We expect larger and unused blocks of land will develop first. They provide the best opportunities to deliver new homes the soonest. Other areas, like streets with lots of existing homes on smaller blocks, will develop more slowly or may experience very little change at all. First and foremost, our new rules do not require anyone who lives or owns a property in Epping to do anything. Once our plans are in place, landowners in Epping will have clear new rules to follow if you want to build new homes on your land. Each landowner can decide if and when they want to build new homes. If you don't want to change anything on your property, you don't have to. Landowners will have more opportunities to build more different types of homes on their property. Over time, you may see more homes being built in your neighbourhood and more people joining your community. In turn, this will mean more customers and opportunities for local businesses and generally a more lively and vibrant community. It also means that more Victorians will have the chance to find a home that's right for them. We know the Epping community has provided a lot of feedback over the last few years about the future of your area. Whittlesea City Council has done a lot of work to make sure the Epping Central Structure Plan can help deliver the new homes we need, while also considering the needs and priorities of the local community. We're not reopening the conversation about the Epping Central Structure Plan. However, we do want to hear from you about the new things we're introducing through the Activity Centres program, our plans for the catchment, a potential new approach for infrastructure funding and your local infrastructure needs, and our streamlined new planning process. We've covered a lot of content tonight, and I'm sure you have questions. So start thinking about what some of your questions are, and please submit them as they come to mind. We can begin answering them in a moment for you. Your feedback is really important to us. So once you've read about our draft plans, please visit the Engage Victoria website to complete our survey and share your thoughts with us. Our surveys are open until 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, the 29th of September. Once our surveys close, we'll analyse the feedback and use them to finalise our draft plans with the aim to implement them by the end of this year. Everything I've just run through is also available on Engage Vic, and a recording of this presentation will be made available there too.